So that's the solution. You'd have to change the name because the word Israel is too sectarian, it's tribalist. Uh, if you don't want to change the name, it's because you're a tribalist or some kind of childish kind of attachment to the name. Change it to something completely different that doesn't offend anybody and make it one big democracy from river to sea. Now, it's claimed to be a democracy right now, Israel, but it's a mess, as we can see, with what's going on right now. And so, Gaza is obviously that system of having these reservations is not working. So, one big country as it was in 1986 when I was there, but that's not going to happen. It's too late, but that is the only solution. No other solution exists. It was stupid, whoever's idea that was, to break up Israel. It was quite a good functioning democracy back then. Plenty of problems, but moving in the right direction. I mean, where I live in America has plenty of problems. Yeah, it's almost worse. You think about it, the redistricting of states in America to shut people out. And every election, people complain that masses of people got shut out for other reasons, right? So Democrats complain about that. Republicans complain about that. Every general election. And then, more importantly, you have very much corporate control of the system here. Corporations rule the world, vampire capitalism. So corporations are influencing government in various different ways. Is that a democracy when corporations are telling the government what to do in a corporate, political, news media, industrial complex, military industrial complex? So not much of a democracy when everything is built around having the biggest military in the world. That's the most important thing. $1 trillion a year or more, taken from the sky, a debt the millennials and the Zoomers won't be able to pay off even the interest on that debt to keep the largest military in the world going. A very dysfunctional, not very good military, by the way. Doesn't do anything. So that's not much of a democracy. It's a military-industrial political complex. And also there's all this redistricting going on, etc. that I talked about. And people are just locked out, according to Democrats and according to Republicans, people getting locked out of the system, right? Every election. So yeah, democracy in Israel, from river to sea, no borders, no fences, no walls, is the only chance you've got now. As it was when I was there in 1986, but getting better and better and better, moving towards a democracy instead of splitting it up. Splitting it up was a huge mistake. So it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. It's too late. So enjoy your quagmire because it's going to drag other people in one way or another, other countries or influencers from other countries. US is going to have a hard time not having to deal with it in some way, some dramatic form or other, right? Whether that means trying to tell Israel what to do from now on, or actually getting involved themselves, which they are in the Mediterranean right now, ready to get involved. So good luck with that. It's not going to work. In a quagmire, and it's a mess. The only solution is my solution that I just described, and there's one other solution, and all peaceful, non-invasive. It's not protesting or anything like that. You won't even know what's going on. Most powerful solution there is. But other than that, these tiny little reservations you've got for the Palestinians and your mass bombing of those reservations, that's not going to work. So you've blown it. So there's no other way. I don't see another way forward now, except some dramatic return to Israel. And I know UN peacekeepers across the whole of Israel or something like that to slowly bring it back to a democracy, over a functioning democracy for the whole of Israel, no fences, no walls, no borders, over a decade or more. So that's not going to happen, obviously. That won't happen. So, but it is the only solution. Unfortunately, that solution is not attainable. Gaza is going to be a hellhole because of not enough water. The summer's coming, it's there already now probably. It's going to be hellish. It's a pretty hard place anyway. And I hitchhiked around Israel. I didn't get to Gaza in 1986 on my own. Hitchhiked through the West Bank before there were any walls or fences anywhere. Great time I had, great experience. I've talked about that. Ask me about it if you want to know, because it was incredible. It's a different universe. And to me, that's the Israel I would want to go back to, right? One big country, river to sea, a democracy with no reservations in prison camps, giant open-air prison camps. Just one big country, change the name to a non-sectarian name. One state solution is the only solution, but it's far too late. The Jewish state, which declares itself a Jewish state and allows millions of Jews from around the world to come into its country and take the land from the indigenous Jews and the indigenous Palestinians, right? So with their money, their power and connections. So literally 3 million people, I think it is, since 1950 have come into Israel or more. So what I would call for is, what I hope for in the ideal world is somehow, and I don't know how that happens, the whole of Israel to go back to where it was when I was there in 1986, right? Where there were no walls, no fences, one state solution, a democracy from river to sea, all of it in one country under a different name, not a sectarian name. So I'm not sure what that name should be, but I'm the one that's proposed it, and it's the only answer. A democracy. Take down the walls, take down the fences, and you can call it a democracy right now, but there's 2 giant reservations there where people are barely allowed in and out, right? So it's not really a democracy. Some years it was more freedom of movement, other years it was more clamped down, and now it's just completely clamped down. And Gaza has been an open-air prison for years, according to the United Nations, for years before any of this happened, this recent blow-up. And so, one big country, one state solution, and that's it. From ocean to the River Jordan, from Lebanon to Egypt. The whole thing, one big country, like it was when I was there hitchhiking around on my own in 1986. Wonderful country. But change the name. Just a democracy, and change the sectarian name. Grow up. Grow up. If you can't see that that's your problem, is that you have a sectarian name to the place. It'd be like renaming Britain, I don't know, Scotland or something, the whole of Britain, Scotland or something. It's worse than that, because Scotland is not a religion, right? So get rid of the religions, all these cults, change the name, democracy, river to sea, and that's the only solution. Otherwise, it's just going to crash. And so I have to now go to the second point. The most likely scenario, Israel itself is going to go into collapse.